Hey, what's up guys? It's Jacob back with another review, this time of the Apple Watch Sport 42mm. Now, I've had this device for about a year, and I must say that I really do enjoy this device. However, that is not to say that there are not some caveats. This is one of the most complicated devices that Apple has ever created. There is a very steep learning curve when it comes to the Apple Watch. Another thing people ask is this something that would have been created in the Steve Jobs era? And I really do not think that is the case. I do not think Steve Jobs would have created the Apple Watch, nor do I think he would be very happy about its creation. However, despite that fact, I really do believe that Apple is onto something here. The wearable market is booming, and it is one of the most elegant devices that has been created in this category. So what I'm going to do for you here is I'm going to review the Apple Watch and let you know whether or not it is something that is worth your hard-earned money. So please stick around and enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you for being here.
So right here I've got the $399 Apple Watch Sport. I've got this in a space gray aluminum with a blue, midnight blue leather band here. It came with a black band, but I swapped it out for the midnight blue because I like that a lot. If you've seen a previous video, I also have the Lunatic Epic case, which I use on occasion. But right now we've got just the standard, just an Apple Watch Sport band along with the space gray color. So the first thing you're gonna notice here, you don't really notice it, but this right here on the front is actually not the sapphire lens. It is actually going to be Ion X glass. This is roughly the same strength glass that you're going to get in a current iPhone, but not anywhere near as strong as sapphire, so it does scratch. You can't really see any of my scratches. Maybe you can see it kind of up here in the top corner. There's a scratch on the screen there, and there's a couple more, but they are a little hard to see. But granted, this is going to scratch quite a bit easier than your standard sapphire is, unfortunately. The back here is also going to be a ceramic, or I'm sorry, it's going to be a plastic, unlike the ceramic that you're going to get on the higher end watch and edition. So here you can kind of you can see what we've got going on. It's the Apple Watch, the 42mm case, 7000 series aluminum, kind of what I was just talking about, the Ion X glass, and then a composite back, and then the serial number. So you can see there's a little bit of wear. I've been using this for about a year, so where the lettering is, it seems like it might be rubbing off just a little bit. But here on the side, you've got your power, I guess your power button, and it'll also bring up your recent contacts. You've got multiple pages where you can do that. You just hit that and you go back to your home page. And then you have your digital crown here on the side. It's a fancy word for a scroll wheel. What this will do here, this will allow you to do this thing called time travel. It'll tell you the weather if you've got the weather going on. It'll change the time. I don't really have anything set up on here that really utilizes time travel that much, but if you've got your calendar or anything on one of the widgets on the front, you can see appointments and all that kind of stuff going on. But here it just changes the time and kind of the weather and what it's supposed to look like over the next couple days. You push that and you go back home, back to the just the watch screen. So anyway, I've used this for about a year now, and I like it quite a bit. Some things that are a little bit frustrating. First off, let's go into the things that I like about the watch.
Now, one of the most elegant parts of the Apple Watch is going to be this included silicone sport band. It is a silicone band in only the way that Apple could create a silicone band. It is very elegant. It has an opening here for the excess part of the band to be tucked away into, so you get this completely circular look, no extra flaps. It is very elegant and very, I guess, seamless in its design. I really do quite enjoy the sport band, even though after a while it does kind of get worn down, but that's par for the course with any silicone band. Now, another pretty cool thing Apple has done with all of its bands is made it very easy to swap in and out new bands. So if you find something else that you like out there, you're just going to go ahead and swap it out really easy. And the way you do that is with these buttons here that you see above and below the heart rate sensor. So you just push on that button and then slide the band to the side and it releases it. Same thing with the bottom here, you're just going to push in that button and then you will push the band to either side and it will release the band. A cool thing about the Apple Watch is no matter which model you have, whether or not you have the Sport, just the Watch, or the Edition, all the watch bands are intercompatible, which is pretty neat. And so you can kind of see how those are locking in there. And then on this side you actually have a diagnostic port that actually could be used for smart bands, though I do not believe any have been released at this point. But right now Apple only uses that for diagnostics. And when you get this totally taken apart, it really does look like and is reminiscent of the iPod Nano, the square iPod Nano.
So turn out the lights, make it a little easier for you guys to see our notification, or not our notifications, I'm sorry, our home screen here. You get these nifty little bubbles, and these bubbles are going to act as your apps. Instead of having your kind of 4x5 rows that you're used to on an iPhone, you get this kind of bubble interface, which I guess is supposedly supposed to make it easier on such a small screen. This is the 42mm, so it's got a little bit of a larger screen, but it's still not the best when it comes to screen real estate. However, and I have to say that this was probably the most complicated Apple Watch or Apple product that I have dealt with really at all. And you can use the touchscreen and scroll around. You can, but you can't pinch to zoom. It doesn't work. The only way to do that is with the scroll wheel. And if you come in like you go here on whichever is directly centered in the front of the screen, you scroll and you go all the way in, and then you come, once you're in, you're in. To go out, you have to click. So, I mean, that's okay.
Now, another way that you can interact with the screen is to just tap on it. Tapping on any specific icon will launch you into that app, much like an iPhone or thing. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Amazon here, and it's actually pretty quick now with watchOS 2 to load into something. Previously with watchOS 1, everything was run off the phone, and it took forever for anything to load. Now, to buy something on Amazon, you're just going to search with voice. So I'm searching for cool stuff here. We'll see what we get. And like I said, it's a pretty speedy response, a lot speedier than it was with watchOS 1. So look, there you've got some cool stuff for $8.06. And you can just kind of, buy cool stuff. It's actually very easy to accidentally buy things on Amazon with one-click purchasing. So now let's jump into Domino's. And once again, we're going to get a very speedy response here. It's still a little bit slower than your iPhone would be, but it is much faster than watchOS 1. So all you have to do to reorder something is tap to reorder whatever your last order was. So now let's jump into Walmart. Walmart is one of the apps that doesn't do too much. I think it just allows you can make a list on Walmart's app, and then you can get in here and you can kind of see your list. You can also see that I've been searching for some Star Wars stuff, action figures, and all that kind of nerdy junk. But app response is much faster now. It's still not as fast as using your phone, which is unfortunate, but better than nothing. So we also, if you swipe up, you've got all these different widgets. So right now I'm measuring my heart rate. It actually does it pretty quick. I guess I'm pretty relaxed at the moment. You can look at your calendar, you can get to maps, weather. I've got a thing called Zone Play to control my Sonos system. Another cool feature that I really like is the ability to quickly find your phone utilizing a ping system. Now, no Apple Watch is complete without a couple of accessories, and here's one of my favorites. It is the Apple Watch magnetic charging dock, which is a nightstand style charging dock, which allows you to utilize nightstand mode. As you can see, you can also lay it down if you do not want to use nightstand mode and just lay your watch down. However, you don't get the alarm clock function if you have it just laying flat. Now, the way that you are going to reorientate that puck in the vertical mode is you actually have to flip it over and you push your finger through to re-up it into nightstand mode. Now, one of the things with this dock is it does not utilize your original Apple Watch cable like most docks do. It actually has the puck built in and just utilizes Lightning.
So, do I like the Apple Watch? Yes. Do I think it's an amazing device? Not by a long shot. It is got some very noticeable shortcomings. It's expensive. It's very expensive. The one that I have here is actually going to be, now I think you can get it for about $200 or $350. When I originally got it, it was $399. And the Apple Watch actually ranges from $349 all the way up to $17,000, depending on if you go with the Edition, the watch, or the Sport model like I have here. Now, functionally, nothing between the Apple Watch Sport, the Apple Watch, and the Apple Watch Edition are any different. The only different is going to be the materials that the watch is made of. With the Sport, you get aluminum and onyx glass. With the Apple Watch, you get stainless steel with the sapphire lens. And with the gold Apple Watch, or the Edition, you get a 24 karat gold casing with the sapphire screen cover. So depending on whether or not you spend $349 or $17,000, the watch is going to be functionally exactly the same, which is why I really recommend that if you do decide to go buy yourself an Apple Watch, you go with the cheapest model that you can. So that would be a 38mm Sport. If you want a little bit larger size, it's only $50 more to go to the next step up. But I do not really recommend going for anything over a Sport unless you just really need to have stainless steel and sapphire. I've had my Apple Watch Sport for over a year now, and I've not had any really scratching issues. There is just a minor wear and tear scratch on the casing, and then there is a scratch or two on the screen, but nothing extravagant, which really kind of negates the necessity of going with the Apple Watch to get that sapphire screen cover. When it comes to scratches, the Apple Watch, the mid-range just Apple Watch is going to get a lot more scratches just because it's stainless steel. But like I said, if you're going to go get an Apple Watch, I really do recommend you go with the Apple Watch Sport. Design-wise, I really like the design. I do think it's very elegant. It's very reminiscent, as I stated a little bit earlier in this video, of the of the iPod Nano, the Square iPod Nano that came out some years back that a lot of people modded into looking like a watch, or wore it like a watch. Not a lot of accessory makers made watch accessories for that iPod Nano. This looks very much like that. And it's one of the reasons I believe that Apple went away from doing the Square iPod Nano to just doing the elongated one, because they knew at some point they would be launching this device. When it comes to notifications, it's great for receiving notifications. It's easy to respond to text messages and emails if you use Apple's email client. However, if you use Gmail or any other email client, there is still no way to respond to those notifications. The only thing you can do is dismiss them. And so that is a little bit irritating. But if you use just Apple's suite of messaging apps, email, and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be pretty well served here when it comes to responding to notifications. Force Touch, which has been renamed 3D Touch on some of the other devices, and Force Touch really has the ability to give the Apple Watch more buttons than it really has. It only has 2 physical buttons, and Force Touch allows each app to give the specific app different functions depending on what is needed in that specific app. So I do feel like Force Touch is used a lot more here than it would be in an iPhone 6s or on a MacBook. It has a lot more utility here than in either of those devices, and I find myself using it daily because it is integral to the function of the Apple Watch. Do I enjoy wearing it? I really do enjoy wearing it. I don't leave my house without it, or at least I try not to. I've gotten used to my Apple Watch going off instead of my phone, so if my phone goes off in my pocket because I don't have my watch on, it kind of throws me off, and I really like just being able to glance down and see things and not have to pull out my phone to do so. Is it worth the money though? This is a hard question to answer. I think if you are someone who loves technology, who wants to be on the bleeding edge, then and you're an Apple lover, then I would jump into this, no thoughts about it. It's kind of what I did. But if you want something that's going to have the same kind of utility, but not going to be so expensive and maybe not be as flashy, I might go something with more like a Pebble or a Pebble Time. And coincidentally, Pebble just announced 2 new watches coming out fairly soon. So would I recommend this to you? Like I said, if you love Apple and you want the bleeding edge, then I would go with this. If you want something a little bit smaller, a little bit more elegant, go with a Pebble Time or a Pebble Time Round or just the regular Pebble. I do feel like you can get one of those watches for a lot cheaper than you can get the Apple Watch. And you'll get basically the same functionality, just without that Apple, kind of wow factor. Especially if you want something that's round. The Apple Watch is kind of in that smartwatch category in that it's just a square with bands attached to it. If you want something that's more reminiscent of a classic timepiece, then definitely go with a Pebble Time or a Moto 360 or one of the many Android Wear options that are now available or can be used and compatible with iOS. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope this gave you some insight and helps you decide whether or not you are or not going to buy an Apple Watch. I love it. I don't think everybody will. It's kind of divisive. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.